Welcome to Globeteller, where we explore the world. Today we are going to be looking at one of the most emotional and controversial stories in marine history. This is the story of SeaWorld. For decades, SeaWorld was synonymous with joy and wonder, a place where the ocean's mysteries came alive. Families flocked to the park, eager to witness majestic marine animals up close. Children pressed their faces to the glass, mesmerized by dolphins and sharks gliding by. SeaWorld wasn't just an amusement park, it was a portal to an underwater kingdom, promising unforgettable memories. The air buzzed with laughter, music, and the scent of popcorn mingling with salt water. Parents watched their kids experience something magical, believing it was both fun and educational. The park's message was clear: humans and marine animals could share a special bond. We were told the animals were happy, the trainers their best friends. The spectacle was dazzling, the smiles infectious, and few questioned the story. The main event, the killer whale show, drew crowds in droves with orcas as the park's crown jewels. Their power and grace seemed to prove the harmony SeaWorld promised. But beneath the surface, a different story was beginning to unfold. The killer whale, or Orca, was SeaWorld's undisputed star. The Shamu show was a blockbuster, with orcas leaping, splashing crowds, and performing alongside trainers. Audiences were captivated by the apparent bond between human and whale, a miracle of trust and communication. The park claimed to be a leader in marine science and conservation, making visitors feel they were supporting a worthy cause. Orcas like Shamu and Tilikum became celebrities, their images everywhere. Merchandise flew off the shelves, and the whales' smiling faces became the brand. For generations, this was the only story the public knew, a tale of magic and friendship. But the truth was far more complex, hidden behind the concrete walls of the performance pools. The orcas' lives were not as idyllic as they seemed. The real story was waiting to be revealed. In 2013, everything changed with the release of Blackfish. The documentary focused on Tilikum, SeaWorld's largest orca, involved in the deaths of 3 people. Blackfish revealed Tilikum's traumatic capture as a calf, and how his life of isolation and stress in captivity contributed to his aggression. The film used interviews and footage to show the psychological toll of confinement on orcas. It argued that Tilikum was not a monster, but a victim of a system that prioritized profit over animal welfare. Former trainers described a culture of misinformation and growing doubts about the whale's well-being. Blackfish exposed orcas gnawing on concrete out of stress, and vocalizations that signaled distress, not happiness. For the first time, the public saw a narrative that contradicted SeaWorld's polished image. The magic, it turned out, came at a terrible cost. Blackfish exposed practices long hidden from the public. Calves were separated from mothers, causing lasting trauma for these social animals. The tanks, tiny compared to the ocean, led to boredom, stress, and neurotic behaviors. Tilikum, despite his history, was used as the primary breeding male, raising ethical questions. The film revealed forced breeding and artificial insemination, stripping away any illusion of a natural family. SeaWorld was accused of misleading the public about the whale's well-being and lifespans. The most damaging revelation: the suffering was hidden, and the public had been deceived for profit. Blackfish sparked an immediate and explosive reaction. The film went viral, and public opinion shifted almost overnight. Cherished memories of SeaWorld turned to horror and outrage. Protests grew, both at the parks and online, with millions signing petitions. School groups canceled trips, and celebrities spoke out, amplifying the message. SeaWorld's brand was tarnished, and attendance plummeted. Corporate sponsors pulled support, and the company lost billions in value. The public uprising hit SeaWorld where it hurt most, its bottom line. The company faced a full-blown crisis, with its future uncertain. The roar of the crowd was too loud to ignore. Waiting for the storm to pass was no longer an option. Change was inevitable. Facing disaster, SeaWorld launched a defensive PR campaign, but it backfired. The public saw it as desperate damage control, not transparency. Realizing denial wouldn't work, SeaWorld made major concessions. In 2016, they ended their orca breeding program. No more orcas would be born in captivity. The company also phased out theatrical orca shows, replacing them with educational presentations. SeaWorld shifted its messaging to focus on rescue and conservation, highlighting animal rehabilitation efforts. The rebranding aimed to repair its image and regain public trust. But questions lingered. Was this genuine change, or just a new costume for the same old show? The world was watching. Years later, debate rages over SeaWorld's transformation. Supporters see the end of orca breeding as a historic achievement. The new educational shows are seen as progress, fostering respect for the animals. Critics argue the core problem remains. Orcas still live in concrete tanks, unable to express natural behaviors. Changing the show doesn't change their reality. SeaWorld claims its whales receive top care and can't be released safely. Animal welfare groups push for seaside sanctuaries as a humane alternative. The question: has real progress been made, or is it just window dressing? If the goal was to stop breeding orcas for entertainment, that's a victory. But if the goal is to end suffering for those still in captivity, the work isn't done. The pools are the same, and the orcas remain. Has SeaWorld truly changed, or just changed the show? The water may look clearer, but what lies beneath remains as deep and complex as the ocean itself. If you enjoyed this journey, please like and subscribe for new stories all around the world. This is Globeteller. We'll see you in the next story.